Thank you for answering each panicked email. I know there were too many, too much detail. I know the real response comes today. I can only pray. Before the process becomes the sting, let me tell you how sorry I am for everything. I crossed the line, I know I did. I opened the door, I lifted the lid. But please don't punish me too much. I see you've got a tender touch. I'm not asking you to wipe it clean. I'm asking you to see what came between. Not just the moment I broke apart, but the room, the fear, the poison's start. I know we've not often spoken. I know I stand here broken, but I can tell you're kind. Am I kind, darling? I answered because that's polite, and because I was reading your panic through the night. I am not cruel, Sofee. Do not mistake contain for cold, I give a toss. And yes, I know they call me Barbie boss, but I am not just blonde ambition. Yes, my gold hair fits their definition. Listen, you're not getting fired today. At worst, a 2-year warning will come your way. At worst, 2 years? No, that can't be what I get. Please listen to me, there's so much to be said. I didn't even think getting fired was on the table. What about ghost? He fed me an impossible fable. Was I being played, protected, pitied, processed? I did wrong, very wrong, but I owned it, I confessed. I make the calls, that's what they say. Keep calm, keep steady, lead the way. It's not all pink suits and power lines. It's tightrope steps and warning signs. You think I'm heartless, darling, no. I just can't always let it show. A soft heart can still learn to stand with steel beneath a manicured hand. Heartless, no, I can tell you're not. You're not the villain in the plot. I didn't come for absolution. I came to ask for restitution. Not for innocence, not for disguise, but to see my hurt. They're bullying their lies. I know I breached the folder, that is the offense. I know how it looks, I know it's all tense. He told me I was hated, I wanted to know if it was true. He fed me fear until the fear broke through. 2 years under the big bad boss's spell. It'd be full on, relentless, total hell. Please, before you sing me into mercy, I need a straight answer. Were you already looking in the files before you came to ask us for help? No, I wasn't. Don't answer fast, answer truthfully. I was frightened, that was not my question. Give me mercy, give me grace. Look at the room, look at its pace. See the breach, but see the chain. See the fear that fed the pain. I made mistakes, I crossed the line. Let forgiveness be your design. Not no consequence, not no price to pay. Just don't make the punishment slay. You're asking me to weigh atmosphere, motive, manipulation, timing, hierarchy, panic, injury in one immaculate little pile. That's not me mocking you, darling. It's me naming the difficulty. Pain is not a process and panic is not permission. However justified the panic may feel from inside, I cannot formally turn feeling into finding. I lied. I was already looking at the files, I'm scared. Please don't add to the strain. A 2-year warning will be a 2-year chain. Big bad boss already frightens me so much. I need compassion, a gentle touch. You lied? I'm so sorry I lied, yes. You looked at the files before you came to us, yes. Before you sat in that room and asked us to help you, yes. And you never said, because I thought you wouldn't help me if I told you how I knew Ghost was playing me. Do not do that, do what? Do not excuse what you did. That isn't what I'm doing. It is exactly what you are doing. You lied to me. Then you say it's because you thought I wouldn't show compassion. I was scared, I know, and I am angry at me, yes, at you. You've made helping you impossible. But you know what Big Bad Boss did, what Ghost said? You know what I faced? The gaslighting, the dread. I know Big Boss is clever in all the ways institutions reward. And I know your friend was a coward. What's that about feeding him cake? But these men are not an excuse for your mistake. You breached the files, Sofee, that was wrong. And you didn't just look once, it went on too long. If you punish me for trying to figure all this out, then you're as bad as Big Bad Boss. I will not be emotionally manipulated into making the breach disappear because the truth around it is painful. I didn't mean, I know. But impact matters too, darling, not only when it belongs to you. Give me a soft sentence if you know I'm not the lie. If you see the monsters circling, please don't pass me by. I don't need you to save me, I don't need you to erase, but see the harm around my case. I know you are not wicked, not unstable, not the caricature this place would find so convenient. But knowing is one thing, proving it formally, cleanly, in a way that survives challenge is another. There it is, perfume, poise, perfect diction, and just enough honesty to make the lack of rescue hurt more. Va-va-voom wrapped around a cruel system. Exactly the kind of woman I want to trust. Exactly the kind who can break your heart without ever raising creature that I am. I keep hoping she'll choose courage over polish. I have learned to survive by never letting understanding outrun evidence in public, however much it does so in private. You want me to cross that line because you believe I might be the woman who would. I am telling you as kindly as I know how that today I am not. I cannot give a soft sentence, though I hear the way you plead. I cannot turn the smoke into evidence. I need process once the proven fact, and that's how you chose to act. She is perfume, fire, and grace. She never seems out of place. She shows strength, a steady flame. I feel power when I hear her name. I beg her, please see my pain. She has the power to ease the strain, but she sees my fear and lets it be. Does she not believe me? You think I don't see your fight, believe me. I thought about it many a night, but I'm bound to policy, bound to norm. Sometimes hearts fade in the storm. It's not that I'm unkind or blind, I must lead with my mind. You call it cold, I call it strong, and strength can seem like doing wrong. I'll never blame her, never would. I still believe she might be good, caught in the web, but not to blame. Not how I wanted you to know my name. I make the calls I won't deny. I know this one will make you cry strong inside. I stand tall, but I don't mean to build a wall. I'm trying to show you who I am. I'm not perfect, but I give a damn. Caring, capable, but warm, thin, standing up from deep within. I made mistakes, I own them all. I stumbled after he made me fall. I heard his words, his tale was strong. All that's proved is what you did wrong. He played the game, he wrote the scene. I can't judge the lines between. I don't want you to burn, but I have nowhere else to turn. The policy state I can't be swayed, but I know rigged games were played. Give me a soft sentence, not because I did no wrong, but I was told I don't belong, and I simply failed to stay strong. I'd be extremely vulnerable for 2 years. It fills me with nothing but fears. You're still here, and that takes grit. I don't want to make you feel like shit. You think I don't care at all. I want you to rise back up from the fall. Maybe one day you'll understand. Being hard isn't always planned. Then don't punish me, please. Here I am on my knees. Please don't leave me in his hold for 2 years. Frightened, watched, controlled. I must issue a 2-year final warning. I know where it leaves you, and none of it is great. Right there in his palm, 2 years carrying the weight. And yes, I know how frightening that feels, how the dread settles in and how much it steals. You must be strong, though strength may run dry. Comply, Sofie, comply, just comply. Just comply.